Bum
All right.
ba dum ba dum ba da 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 ba da 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 da. Hello and welcome to Input Left. Okay.
I thought I was doing the intro.
Oops.
No.
Okay, I thought you were saying the opposite.
No.
Why don't you do the intro? Why don't you intro?
No, this is the intro. We already did
Okay.
the intro now.
I'm sorry.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to episode 33 of our Pokemon Diamond Randomizer Nuzlocke. We've been on a little bit of a hiatus because Joe abandoned me for a couple weeks there.
I did.
But we're back, we're fresh, we're ready to rumble. We have a vague recollection of where we were and what we're doing.
Only
take
the
a little look at the
slightest hint.
Refamiliarize ourselves. I believe the current level limit is 35. Let me just verify that real quick.
Verified on Twitter. Get that check mark.
36, actually. Yeah, okay. So yeah. That's where we are. We're in Celestic Town. There's an odd spaceman at the ruins, but before any of that, we've got an encounter to get.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
We've been gone, as we were saying, for a little bit. Well, this is probably not reflected in this episode so much as the previous episodes. And if you were waiting in patience, thank you, because this channel's it's skyrocketing. It's going off the charts. And
oh yeah.
I have had a couple reasons why recording was delayed on my end. First, I had, actually, I didn't even tell you this, Will, specifically, but a person I know who I really look up to decided she's going to run for state office in Minnesota, and she's going to try and take out an incumbent. And it was very exciting to get that news, and we met, and she'll be an excellent senator. She's not the most timely person, but she is hardworking. And so she was like, yeah, actually, can we move this an hour later? And so that interfered with recording, as you might imagine. The second thing... Oh, is this our encounter?
It is. Another poison type. This is another really good user for the Black Sludge, and actually feels like it could be a strong contender for a Cheney replacement.
Yeah, even after
we've got like Skuntank, we've got Gengar, we got Weezing, you just got all these poison types.
We do. It's poison and water, and I know water types are like actually statistically
they're
really
fairly common, but
right.
Poison types not so much. Yeah, I feel like we have a disproportionate number of poison types.
Yeah, so I don't know why that's happening. But the other reason,
saying you had a second.
Yeah. The other reason, the other weekend, last weekend, why I couldn't record was that I was in Denver of the Colorado variety. And let me just tell you, I sabered Denver. And I sabered it. And by that I mean the first night there, I was with my mom. We went across the street. We got some special chocolates. We ate the chocolates. My mom didn't know how edibles worked. And for those who don't know, if you eat like weed chocolate, basically it'll take a couple hours to really hit you. And so
let's just be clear. She ate the edible knowing it was an edible. You didn't just hand her a brownie.
Right. I didn't know.
Hey, Mom, take this.
I want to see how you act when you take this delicious brownie.
Unassuming brownie.
Yeah. No. She knew. And it was one of those things where I was like, hey, yeah, like, let's just have a piece, calm us down, relax us for the evening.
Another question here, sorry.
Yes.
Because it's not a given. Has your mom in any way, shape, or form in the past? I don't want you to rat on her, but statute of limitations probably passed. Has she consumed weed before?
Yeah, I mean, when she was a kid, she did all the drugs. So.
Wow.
Okay. Both my parents grew up poor, and so for the most part, if you're poor in a city, especially in like the 60s and 80s respectively, I mean, those are times with big drug cultures too. So,
I just obviously not everybody who grew up during that time, even people who grew up poor. I'm not
stereotyping.
And your mom doesn't really strike me as that kind of person, frankly.
No, my mom was like smoke in the school bathroom. I think she tried like most of the hard drugs, like the classics.
Oh yeah,
she's an OG. She's an OG.
She tripped acid. She's more experienced than you are.
Oh yeah, like not even joking. But apparently she didn't get how edibles work, despite that.
Well, they're a newer thing, aren't they? I mean, like they didn't exist when she was a kid.
I don't know. Did people not bake like things into like muffins?
I don't think we knew how to. I think it's like a newer formulation. Because of legalization, I think it's really driven innovation in some respects, right?
I mean, I had to teach.
Would alcohol be as refined of a process as it is if it had been illegal for hundreds of years? Probably not.
Right. That's a good point. I mean, I had to teach my dad to vape, but I guess I had to teach my mom how to do an edible. So,
wow, let's something else.
But first, before we continue that.
Okay, this is a mutated toxic waste repellent, right?
This is an asthmatic person.
This person, everywhere they go, they are spewing like nuclear level toxicity. They're a landmine. They're literally a landmine. Or I guess they're are they more of an ocean mine? I don't know.
All right. I got it. Unless you had one.
Okay. One that was like my immediate thought is Ted Cruz, but I want to know what you're thinking.
Ted Cruz is a titan, and he also comes to mind. But there's actually, if you look, there's two dudes here that are conjoined.
There are two guys. That's true.
And
are you thinking Koch brothers?
Holy, that's even better. I was actually going to see Eric Trump and like his brother or whatever.
Oh, that's good too.
But Koch brothers, because they're specifically like pollutant.
One of them
really well.
One of them is dead, but we're still going to go with it.
Well, that's the tiny one that's attached to him. He's just shriveled up.
Yeah. I mean, they've got like the death sign on them as well.
Koch bros.
Koch bros.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a good one.
That's really good. Actually, I really want them on the team ASAP. Like, I want them to replace Survivor.
Well, maybe we'll consider that because we're gonna have to do some grinding for the next gym at some point. True. So that might be a good time to make a natural transition.
So back to the story.
Right.
Yeah, so she did it all when she was a kid, but she's not hip with the kids anymore. Like, when I was a kid, she gave up cigarettes. It was really great. Like, it was, very meaningful.
That is good. Yeah.
And I remember that very fondly. She's gotten a lot better with drinking, and she doesn't do any drugs, like, anymore. And she hasn't even done, like, weed probably most of my life, probably, or ever in my life. So that was the before times. And we had a nice chocolate bar. I told her, like, you gotta wait till it hits you. And she was like, no, it's not hitting me. I could tell, like, it might be already. But I was like, all right. And so we ended up having 2.5 pieces. And for those who don't know, and I obviously, like, this is a particular product, but in general, like, you have, like, half a piece or 1 piece. And
1 piece? Sorry,
yeah, 1 Piece.
I've never watched or read anything of 1 Piece.
So it was a trip. Like, she was freaking out in the middle of the night, like thinking that someone was gonna like axe down the door.
Oh wow! Isn't it the opposite effect?
Yeah,
you would intend.
Well, it's the fun curve. I'm sure you're familiar with the fun curve.
The fun curve. I guess in like I haven't heard it phrased as such.
Alcohol EDU.
I can imagine what a fun curve is. Yeah. I've not heard it described.
Normally, it's used in the alcohol context of like,
when you're like buzzed and then you like
like you peak the fun curve and then it starts. Your fun plummets basically until you're dead.
So, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I get that.
On the graph, death is at the end of the fun curve.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like that. And so you have too much, you really got to ride it out. And here's the problem is like, I was worried about her because I was like, oh my God, can her body even handle this much? And so, because if I was like tripping, she must have been real tripping. So, it was one of those things where I probably should have just stayed out with her, laughed, and like made it a fun high. For those who don't know, it's got to go one way or the other, and you can kind of affect that. But I was just telling her, no, just sleep through it. And that was bad because I was abandoning her, and then she started getting really paranoid. But the following days were really fun because basically it was so much for our bodies that we rode it throughout the full like 4 days in Denver. So wow. We didn't even finish the bar. I had to toss the rest of the bar, and yet we were high up until the very end. Like obviously every day got like less and less. So, but
that is something else.
And yeah, so that's the story of my first legal high. Denver. This is a plug for Denver, Colorado.
And also your only high.
And of course my only high, yes. Of course.
Yeah. I just wanted to note, by the way, that the Wheezing we caught, that is the Koch brothers, had self-destruct on it. So there is a chance it could have just blown up, and it did not. So probably should have kept that in mind a bit more when I was slowly chipping it down with lick.
That's actually terrifying. Yeah, that was like 1 in 4 every time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's totally random for the wild Pokemon. So yeah.
Huh.
Kind of lucky.
We could have been F-diddlied. Mm-hmm. Well, so back from Denver, back sober, cleaning up my room. That's the story. So I ate at Cheesecake Factory twice with my mom.
Twice? You doubled down on the Cheesecake
We doubled down. And I don't know. Have you been to Cheesecake Factory?
Of course, yeah. So not a lot because it's a lot, and it's it's got like a menu that reads like a dictionary.
Yes,
like it's gigantic, like 17 pages long. The portion sizes are ludicrous as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like at least by my standards, like you order something that costs like $10, like it's like a $10 fettuccine Alfredo or something. And they bring out enough food to feed a family of 4, Yeah. And I'm like, okay, all right then, I bang for my buck, I guess. Like it's not phenomenal food though, but you are getting a lot of calories. So there's that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't like the way you characterize that.
Well, Cheesecake Factory is not, I'm okay. This is my privilege showing, I guess. When I think of like nice sit down restaurants to like go to as a treat, Cheesecake Factory isn't really up there. Cheesecake Factory is where I would take my dates to, like in high school before seeing a movie at the mall, right? That, like for context, like that's what it was. It was like a nice-ish place for like a very young person to take another young person out on a date.
I guess here's my question, and also. Cheesecake Factories also vary a lot in quality sometimes, and we double dipped because this one was really good.
The one I'm referring to, and you'd be familiar with it, is the one at Old Orchard Mall, of course.
Right.
And I think that's probably one of the better ones that I've been to. I haven't been to a lot,
but I guess, and we had the Cobb salad, and it's a huge portion.
Okay,
and it's also delicious.
I mean, Cobb salad's hard to go wrong. Yeah.
But at the same time, my question is for you is, do Red Lobster and like Olive Garden, like how do you categorize these in relation to Cheesecake Factory?
Olive Garden is below Cheesecake Factory for sure.
I mean, I think Olive Garden's probably below everything.
Yeah. I know, but you asked me, and I gave you the answer.
No,
you said, you responded to me as though I had said that unprompted, and you're like, well, of course. Well, you asked me.
Well, okay. It was an example that I regretted putting to my head because had you classified Red Lobster and Olive Garden in the same level, I would have been very disappointed.
Okay. Like Cheesecake Factory is not like way above Olive Garden for me, but it is above it. I have not been to Red Lobster before, I'll be honest. Yeah.
Oh, you're missing out.
Am I?
That's one of my favorite restaurants, The
biscuits
they give you.
I guess I should try it.
I don't know if you've heard of the biscuits. They're called the Cheddar Bay biscuits.
I have not heard of the biscuits, no.
So you know how I think it was on an episode that we were talking about how people go to McDonald's for like the uniqueness of the flavor.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, Cheddar Bay biscuits are like that. Like people go to Red Lobster just for the biscuits.
Yeah.
And they're like the bread they serve you at the beginning of the meal, right? Like they're the free.
Like how people
bread.
go to Olive Garden for the unlimited breadsticks, you know.
They go there for the quantity of breadsticks. And the quality has declined even over the last like 5-10 years.
Do you think that's true, or do you think that's your childhood nostalgia?
I think it's true. I think
okay.
Even my mom has noticed she's a soup person. She loves soup, and we used to go there just for like unlimited soup and salad and breadsticks. And she would say like, the soup, they're starting to use more and more processed ingredients, and she can tell that like very easily.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to doubt your mom. I just know like I've had similar opinions before where I've been like, oh, this thing has gotten worse over the last decade. And then I've thought about it. And I'm like, is that really true? Or is that most likely just my own personal like childhood nostalgia acting up, you know?
Oh yeah. Especially with like TV shows and
yeah, exactly. Where you're like, oh, like Disney Channel, for instance, had much better TV shows when I was a kid than
Disney
it does
XD.
Today.
When I was a kid, Disney XD was so rad. Now it's only kids shows like Milo.
The old Pokemon games were the best ones, and the new ones suck.
Well,
I think I mentioned this at the start of this playthrough. Mm-hmm. I think that Gen 4 is about peak. Has about the peak childhood nostalgia of any Pokemon generation right now, which is part of the reason I wanted to do this playthrough and why I've criticized it so starkly is because I do think people need to wake up a little bit. Platinum's
wake up, sheeple.
Wake up, sheeple. It wasn't that good. Exactly. Did it? Oh yeah, never.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned through playing this playthrough or watching this playthrough that it wasn't good. That's true, and I'm glad we're doing this whole like weird naming experience because it's the only thing keeping this entertaining for me.
yeah, I get that. I think that it's like there's definitely some level of ambitiousness with Diamond and Pearl. They did not deliver on it very well. I've said it before, like it's still a Pokemon game, and I think it's still fun in some sense because of that. Mm-hmm. But I think it's definitely one of the weakest Pokemon games ever released. Platinum does a lot to make it better. For sure, but yeah, that's sort of my overall feelings on the game, and I played a lot of it too when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I never got Platinum. I only played Diamond. So.
Oh wait, then how do you know all these things about Platinum? Well,
I played it. I played it since then.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like at the time as a kid, I got Diamond, and then I went straight from Diamond. I didn't even get Heart Gold or Soul Silver. I borrowed a friend's copy of Soul Silver once and did a quick playthrough of it. But pretty much went straight to Black and White after Diamond. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe part of the reason I wasn't as interested in Platinum is because I didn't like Diamond very much, even as a kid. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly got Emerald.
This playthrough, and I think I've criticized Black and White, or I've said like, oh, it's not my favorite game, but I understand.
You've alluded to criticisms of Black and White. At least.
But honestly, playing this, I'm starting to think like I wish I spent my time on Black and White instead.
I think at some point it would be fun to do a playthrough like this of Black and White, because I feel like you may not remember very much of what that game was like, and I'd like to show you what parts of Black and White I really like and why it's my favorite Pokemon game.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
So yeah,
to cap off though, that was a tangent from Red Lobster, and I just wanted to.
That was a tangent from Red Lobster.
I did want to cap off the Red Lobster words of wisdom, and it was we led to Olive Garden and everything, but in a lot of times people go to a restaurant and they love the free bread experience, but it's different when the free bread is like the best thing on the menu, and you come there for the free bread, and it's one of the best things. And that's a Red Lobster, like Cheddar Bay biscuits. Imagine, I don't know if you've ever had cheesy biscuits or like cheddar biscuits, and they're cheddar flavored.
The biscuits I've had have not been cheesy. in my time. Yeah.
Well, that's a real shame.
It's okay. I mean, it sounds like they just like biscuits and gravy are already a pretty American, like extremely unhealthy food, and adding cheese to that seems almost
there's no gravy
exorbitant
involved in this.
Okay, fair.
It's also not like drizzled on cheese. It's like baked with cheese.
Yeah, no, I can picture that. I get that.
Yeah,
I know. I'm also one to talk. Coming from the country that invented poutine, but
I know.
Still.
Yeah, that's true. That's worse than all this.
Poutine is like our one indulgement. That and like, frozen maple syrup on a stick and like beaver tails and stuff.
Beaver tails?
Not actual beaver tails. These are a kind of like pastry. It's like kind of like a thin, fluffy cinnamon and like sugar coated pastry you can get sometimes at like stands out like on a street corner or something. Mm-hmm. It's actually quite pleasant.
It's funny because if you described poutine, I bet to anyone in like around the world that wasn't familiar with Canadian food or poutine specifically,
they'd think it came from America.
They would definitely think that would be American, right?
And make no mistake, it has been in many ways embraced by America.
Oh yeah.
But I know what you mean. This actually might be a disaster, by the way. If it has arena trap, we might be in for a little bit of a sketchy situation here. Okay, we're good.
It would notify you and not like waste your turn, right?
Yeah, I don't think it skips your turn. Yeah. It would say like, oh, you can't switch up.
Survivor attempted to escape, but failed.
Santuma. Oh yeah, I sent you that. There's a fun clip I found. Somebody edited together the Pokemon Stadium English announcer into like a bit of a rap. That was pretty fun. Yeah.
Well, we were talking about Battle Revolution announcer, which I think he's better in the Battle Revolution.
That's a controversial take.
I think you need.
I don't know the Battle Revolution announcer, but I just see. Okay.
Well, of course it's CRISPR. It's CRISPR audio also, so that helps.
Okay.
No, you should do a side by side.
Yeah.
It's no melee announcer though. Like that never ages out.
Mario.
I was here. This game's Warriors.
Game.
Like
new record.
There's so much of it that I find like incomprehensible.
I mean, yeah, the audio recording at the time wasn't as good. There's some classics there. Falco.
Yeah.
Fox. Marth.
What was that? Marth?
That was Marth. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Dr. Mario.
Yo, double edge.
I don't think we can justify it though because we have strength already.
Have you ever used defense curl?
No, I suppose not. Like double edge is basically like what it offers us over strength is like it's more of a nuke button, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe it is worth it.
I just feel like defense curl is useless if you just need a really hard hit, like. And it's
I think you're right because we talked about how setup moves are not as good in randomizers anyways because you just don't know what's coming next and it might all be worthless.
Yeah, like a 2-level boost is one thing, but like defense curl, come on.
Coupled with Aqua Ring, it's amazing.
Nah.
Okay, you know what? Let's do it. Let's try it.
Yeah. I don't even know if you've used Aqua Ring, and I wouldn't suggest Canada, but
I mean Aqua Ring's the next thing to go. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is a good moment to end this episode.
All right. Let me just whip out some healing real quick.
Please. Yeah. Full heal.
Have any? I kind of want to save the good healing.
Yeah. Are you going to be able to heal between Elite Four fights or no?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I just haven't bought anything because I'm a cheapskate.
Yeah.
I'll just run back to the Pokemon Center.
Well,
I'm too lazy.
See y'all next time. Hopefully we don't get killed here.
No, we're not going to get killed here.
GG Nori.
Tell us below, what's your guilty pleasure fast food-ish restaurant?
That's a great. I want to hear, do you like Olive Garden? Do you like
Are you a Red Robin aficionado?
Ooh, I haven't heard that one in a long time.
I've only been there like twice. They got some good stuff. They had like beer battered, like what were they? Were they like Onion was just rings? It wasn't onion rings. No, it was more of like a self-contained petals. Little ball. I don't think it was cheese curds either. I don't remember what it was, but they had some nice thing there. I thought it was the
burgers
decent.
Are solid.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, let us know.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.